Hello and welcome to Leslie Flowers' launch party of eRADA, the audiobook. Well, I shouldn't just say the audiobook because we are certainly going to be speaking about the story in all the various formats. That would be the ebook as well as the paperback. Leslie Flowers is a 12-time best-selling co-author, her most recent being eRADA, a fictional sci-fi fantasy love story that transcends galaxies and speaks about soul kissing love. We are joined today also by my big brother and executive remote producer of Nick Never in Control, the man, Aaron Gibson. So I'm going to bring these two up without further ado. We have a fun show for you tonight, and we have some prizes as well. So let's bring Leslie right on up. Hello. Hello. How are you? You're on mute.
Thank you. Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Why do I do that every time? Who knows?
I don't know. I think it's a host thing. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. I think it's just a host thing.
Well, I'm looking over on LinkedIn and I don't see that it started yet. So maybe it just takes a little time. No, it still says it hasn't started yet. So maybe you can. Yeah, that is interesting. So here we are.
I know. Well, I think we need to bring up the executive remote producer because it's a little concerning right now. Executive remote producer, you're here with us.
Hello.
Are the gremlins doing their thing?
I'm noticing the gremlins
The
right
gremlins
now.
are doing their thing, aren't they?
Streaming to LinkedIn, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But at least YouTube is working.
Okay. Well.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that's no fun. All right, so I'm going to leave you to work your magic because I know you're going to figure out a way to work your magic and get folks in here because this is just what you do. Leslie, before we jump into your launch party, let me share a quick story while he works this out.
Okay, good.
This is how this guy is the savior, right? Yeah. So 2 Christmases ago, when I decided to go live for the very first time on Christmas Eve from Canada at my sister's house, Aaron said, "You got this? You set it up?" "Yep, I set it up." He's like, "I don't see it. Where you set it up?" What do you mean?" "The LinkedIn Live button." He's like, "Sis, what?" He's like, "You didn't put it like on a third-party streaming, like, StreamYard or Restream?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "All right, well, I just didn't know." And yeah, we had to cancel the event, redo the event an hour before the show. And Aaron was literally spitting out messages to everybody that this is the show link, this is the show link. So why am I even surprised that we have gremlins running around right now?
It's streaming on my page. I'm pretty sure because I got a notification that says.
I think there's just a massive delay right now.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's it. It's 6:00, right, on a Wednesday night. Yeah. Busy.
We're going to get it sorted out. We got this. It's easy. Easy peasy.
Yeah. It actually looks like I did just get a little error message. LinkedIn is definitely doing its thing. It looks like your stream isn't showing up on LinkedIn. This is likely a known issue with LinkedIn. They're working to fix it. Try ending the stream and creating a new one. That would be great. We're not going to end the stream in the middle of the launch party.
No. Let's just have some fun.
Hashtag LinkedIn.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let me share with you about, you were talking about Aaron and how he magically fixes everything. So this is a great time to tell you that when we were doing the audiobook and we did a broadcast with Paulette in England, and we were in eRADA. Now, this is in a hotel with slow Wi-Fi. Nothing worked right. She couldn't hear us. We couldn't hear her. The microphone wasn't working. There were at least 4 things that were not working, right? And is it working now? Is that what
We
you're
are
saying?
live on LinkedIn.
All right. Well,
Oh
anyway,
my goodness. That only took like 7 minutes of my life off, and like my hair is ready to fall on the floor. I mean, it's already going great, but I really do not need any of it to fall on the floor yet.
well, let me just finish telling you, don't worry about this, because this is just a party. I mean, this is a party for fun. I've already got the status I need. I got the #1 last summer. This is for fun, for all the people, for you, for Aaron, and all the people that have supported this and come on board over the last 6-8 months. But anyway, so we have 4 things going on, and we're going live in 5 minutes. Okay. I'm not kidding you. Aaron ran up the stairs, got something that we could hear with. He wore one of the ear things, I wore another. I don't know what he did, but there were 4 things that he resolved in 5 minutes so we could go live. So if he could do that, he could do anything.
Listen, I am just here answering messages because these are our community and they love us, they love you, they want to be here, so they're like reaching out. I'm waiting out here, I'm trying to get in. And I just want to make sure that this. And yes, that's it's so funny. I almost don't want to say this on here, but I'll just say it. I said stupid LinkedIn to Jason, and he writes back, "Yep," with the angry face because you know we love LinkedIn. Like, what are we good at? Like me personally, I live here, and if I could stream through them and not go through like a third party, I would. But this is the way this setup is, so I really need them to function right now.
Don't worry about it. I'm okay
Function.
with it, honestly. Let's just have some fun.
It is fun because when I think that somebody has a birthday coming up soon, when I think that um, this person and I have like known each other for as long as we have, and then we met you, and you just burst into everything, burst into our lives, and you came with so much wisdom and heart, and you have a little toughness about you there, Queen of eRADA. I'm just saying, and that's a good thing. No, it is. Listen, when somebody could call me up and say, "Hey, Nick, I'm listening." Listen, that's friendship. That's, and the truth is, I could sit up here and say, "Oh, well, Leslie hired Guiding Brilliant Writers to promote Iran." I'm going to say all these really nice things. Everybody knows that you and I are friends. I co-host Mind Over Matter Mondays with you.
Yes.
So, it's a double boon when you get to have the opportunity to work with and promote somebody who you're already so close to and whose work you admire and whose endeavors you believe in. I mean, of course, my book's right here. Of course, I told you that Marcus has listened to Erotica. So has Puppy, actually, because you ever noticed Chihuahuas have these really big ears? Well, he's got some really big ears, and he can't.
Yeah, he does have big ears. By the way, I checked on LinkedIn, and it says it hasn't started. Oh, ears.
We are going on LinkedIn. I'm currently sending messages. I'm
Okay.
paging everyone.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's why we'll have 100 comments. Your 100 of
So Donald did show up. So Donald got in.
Oh, Donald is there? I didn't see his name. There it is. Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. For me, it's still saying event will start soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just
For those
start
of you that
popping a
are having
couple of messages
problems,
to my friends. Go to YouTube.
I'm gonna interrupt here because that's what I do as a remote producer. I don't have a little earbud to say in
What'd
your
you
ear,
say?
like, hey, by the way, if you haven't done so already, you see these 2 lovely little angels that I have above me. All right. They both got YouTube channels. Please subscribe to their YouTube channels. I'll get the links in the comments very shortly here. All right. And if you're having problems watching this stream right now, switch over to YouTube. All right. The stream is usually much smoother, and you can still put your comments there, and you can still put your emojis, and we can still have a glorious whoop whoop time.
Yeah.
One for the books, eh? One for the books.
Oh, look, there's someone else. Who's
Okay.
Okay, people are coming in.
Hello, how are you? Damulira? I really do not want to mispronounce your name. And welcome, welcome. We are, hello, Donald. Oh my goodness, you're sitting down to have dinner. I'm starving. Seriously, I am so funny. My husband came in and I was like, listen, no. Wait, we're going to eat after. I'm like, I'm too excited right now. I don't want to put anything in my stomach. Leslie.
Yes.
Okay. Question. And I'm going to ask you this question later on anyway, right?
Okay.
Is there any eRADA 2 coming?
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, eRADA 2 is about a third, maybe closer to a half completed.
All right. Awesome. So what are you thinking? End of this year? Maybe next year?
Before the end of this year, if we can fit it in with Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing. I mean, that publishing company is very busy all the time. So.
Oh God, you're too funny. Listen, that publishing company happens to love you, so they certainly will clear the schedule for you. But I am obviously excited, right? I love the book and I talk about it all the time. And I've actually had so much feedback from people as well. I don't
Good.
know if you saw the other day, but Nadine Eyre of Writewiser
Mhm.
put up a beautiful post.
Mhm.
And when I see stuff like that, I did shout her out on the Guiding Brilliant Writers business page because as readers, as story lovers, people who lovingly almost protect the craft in this day and age with everything AI, and not anything against AI, but that love of wanting to express yourself without any interference, if you will, right?
Yeah.
She's a busy lady. Her hands are busy. She's writing. But the whole point is she enjoyed the audiobook. And, that's one of the beauties of that audiobook and of any audiobook is that we are able to work on so many other things and still have our minds go off to this place of adventure and love. And I'm curious about something.
Yes.
Would you say, and I ask this because a lot of times when you look at movies that are trilogies and series and stuff, in eRADA 2, are you going backward or forward? Or you're not going to share?
Both.
Both.
So eRADA 2 actually starts 1,200 years before now. So eRADA 2 takes us back to the original communication between eRADA and the Earth, and it has to do with textiles and resources that had people on eRADA come to Earth for these particular resources. And that's actually where the story begins, but you wouldn't know that until you get into book 2. Yeah. So we're still not seeing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm telling Aaron, thank you for doing that. I was teasing because I'm spoiled. I have an executive remote producer, and it's all a huge learning curve, and I'm loving every moment of it. But just grateful that he's here, even though he's not home and he's out and about on his various work endeavors. But tried and true, this is the brother that we have. But the idea that this book is starting 1,200 years before the current book,
yes,
and one of the things I shared in a recent show was that how impressed I was that you were able to Thank you, Jason. HR4U is in the house. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Yes, you yourself are a live show host, and you had lovely Leslie on, so you totally know what happens when the live stream gods decide to play with us. But anyway, 1200 years before. So when I think of they went to Earth to, well, because they needed resources, do I dare say it has anything to do with truffles? Can I say it?
Well, sure, because that's everybody knows that it's the truffles that are filled with an elixir that provides virtues, values, and soul-kissing love. So basically, the truffles provide what's necessary to live by virtues, and that's what the whole book is about. It's really about finding a place where people actually honor their word, where they live by virtues, and people have been living by virtues for since the beginning of communities, right? Because it feels good. So I really feel like this is the right time for this kind of a story. It is a love story, and it has a little science fiction, but not the bang 'em up, beat 'em up kind of science fiction. More ethereal, more fifth dimension, more imaginative. And it's a place that feels nice all the time, where people love each other. That doesn't mean that there isn't some difficulty, right? But primarily, the whole world is created based on virtues and values.
And I think that you are right. The world certainly needs a story like this more than ever. With so much going on, we need to be brought back to the roots of virtues and values, and exactly how that infused within community keeps people together, keeps communities interconnected. And you take that, and really and truly, it's what the world needs right now. And Lisa Fevek, Trini Girl, is in the house. It's time to party up in here. Liana, thank you so much.
Okay, here they come. Where's everybody? They must have been having dinner.
Oh my goodness. Guys and gals out there, we want to thank you for your patience and making sure that you hung out until you were able to get in here with us. We've been hanging out. We're waiting on you. We're not
Yep.
going anywhere. We have too much fun scheduled for tonight. So I tell you what, why don't we, in the meanwhile, throw up a little something that your beautiful granddaughter, Sydney, had to share with us about you.
Thank you. That'd be fun.
I think it's great that my Nana's a writer. I love listening to her share stories, and her imagination always surprises me. eRADA was so fun to read, and of course I had to get the audiobook too. A couple of my friends came over when I was listening to it actually, and when I told them it was my Nana, I could see the shock on their faces. It was hilarious. So of course I told them to get it too, because why not?
That's
That
so sweet.
I know. It was one of the most beautiful testimonials that I've had the opportunity to witness, because this is your granddaughter. And here she is sharing not just about how she felt knowing that her Nana had produced this #1 international best-selling sci-fi fantasy love story, but she shared with us that she grew up listening to her Nana share stories with her. And a lot of times people pick up a book and they see the story now, they read the bio about the author, and they don't ever get to go further. But this gave people an opportunity to actually hear from someone that is a descendant of the Queen of eRADA.
Ah,
I love it.
and
I'm going to keep saying that,
and I always, I think the stories that my grandchildren love the most is the ones about their parents, right? When their parents were little and the trouble they got into, right? So yes, I'm a pretty imaginative, and they'd say, Nana, tell us the story about the brown jacket again. Tell us the story about the mouse in Dad's room. Tell us all these crazy things that happen over the years. So I was very happy that she did that. That's so kind.
Yes.
And this book is really designed also for teenagers. There are 100 of these books that were given to children in care in the United Kingdom that are teenagers. So not only did they get the children's books, Jack and Walter, that Paulette has written, but Paulette Hallam, and also there are 100 of the eRADA books in rucksacks for teenagers in care in the United Kingdom, because there's 2 kisses, that's it. Right, it passes muster.
No, and when you think about how far this story has gone, and the fact that it's going to touch the lives of so many children as well, and that was part of the angle that we took here at Guiding Brilliant Writers.
Mhm.
This beautiful story hit #1 international last year. So when the audiobook came out, it was almost a bit of a refresher on the promotion, but in a different format.
Mm.
And it certainly is the type of story that teens will enjoy. And, when I think of a mother with a daughter, it's hard sometimes for parents in this day and age to relate to their kids, right?
Mm.
That audiobook is the perfect opportunity in the rush of a weekend, okay, to be able to say, hey kiddo, I grabbed this, let's listen to it together Friday night. Listen to 30 minutes, it's 90 minutes. Saturday night, let's grab a couple of snacks, let's listen into the next 30 minutes. And Sunday, let's do the same. By the end of the weekend, there's such a chance for a beautiful book discussion between mother and daughter. It is the opportunity to bond over a story, bond over generations of values that we as parents we want actually to instill in our children. So I mean, I am obviously very honored that you allowed Guiding Brilliant Writers to promote your book or the audio of your book. So I see brother down there waving and flinging up the comments, and I am seeing everyone. And thank you. Leslie's thrilled to hear, Aaron's thrilled to hear, and Nick is relieved to hear. So Sharon, hello. Noni, hello. Joshua Lee, very nice to see you. Going down the line. I know I
Oh,
Liana early.
exactly.
Jackie's in the house. Jackie, so awesome to see you. So I am going to run the cutest little promo video that Guiding Brilliant Writers put together throughout Leslie's 3-week campaign. We did have it running in the beginning. Unfortunately, we 3 were just here chit-chatting ourselves for a little bit. So I think that we should throw it back up again. This is what was produced for Leslie's audiobook launch of eRADA. Guiding Brilliant Writers tries to take things from a different perspective. We know that these stories are not just black and white. They are the love and the heart and the pouring of emotion and imagination from an author to a reader. And if they could just telepathically pass that from their mind to yours, this is what promotion needs to be able to convey. The way the written word would evoke emotion in your readers is the way you need visuals and storytelling through visuals to be able to impart the message as well. So let's throw this up one more time.
Nice.
I had so much fun doing that. I'm so sorry, but so much. I mean, the team at Guiding Brilliant Writers did a spectacular job of promoting your audiobook. I mean, it was just beautiful. We couldn't be more proud of me. Oh my god, that's so bad. But seriously, I loved working on it, and this is a whole nother part that I get to be a creative in. And without you coming to me and giving me this opportunity, and yes, I'm gonna smooch all of you, and I don't care. But the point is, you know, Aaron taught me a lot coming up, and it's a dream to be able to open this publishing company, but it's not going anywhere without people um, seeking to work with me. And you entrusted, and friendship has nothing to do with certain things. Okay, understand something. Business is business, and we're
Yes.
professionals as well, and our businesses are out there because we have to earn a living. And from my heart, honestly, Leslie, thank you for giving me the start and this chance to share where I'm starting and where I'm going. And I can't stop crying. And I I can't wait to publish eRADA 2 with you. Uh, it tells me that I'm here for a long time to stay, and that means everything when you take such a big step. So, Big Brother Aaron, why don't you share a few words? Because I need to compose myself.
Absolutely. I've got to commend both ladies here this evening because both of them have really put their hearts into their work, and it really shows. I'm not an easy producer to work with either. I push these two very hard. I try to execute a little bit of humbleness and kindness, but again, I try to push them to, achieve a little bit more because I know that they can do more, and I believe in them both so wholeheartedly that, I mean, the results have been showing. And the things that I always like to add is, Nick, we've been doing this for 3 years now. You've blossomed and you've really come into your own, and I couldn't be more proud of you. And I was so proud that at the first Nick, the person behind the pen show, I was able to sit there and just be happy in the fact that you've learned so much in this time, and we've learned off of one another to just excel and try and push each other more. And when you have that group of individuals, amazing things can happen. And Leslie, we've been how many times have we been in the trenches when it comes to eRADA? It's I've got frequent flyer points to that hotel in eRADA.
True.
And there's still going to be problems with that Pringles container. I cleaned it up, all right. But I had a great opportunity. I had a great opportunity to sit and when it came time to recording Leslie's audiobook, I knew, again, when you care about your friends and family so much, you just want to see them succeed, which means, again, there's going to be times like Leslie was so tired. I would not let up on her. And throughout that whole 5.5 hour recording process, something didn't sound the way that I knew that she wanted it to sound. Then it was, no, stop, grab a glass of water, take a drink. All right, let's just start again. Let's take a breather. Let's get a stretch. Let's make some funny faces. Jacksons,
I could second that.
It's always 3, 2, 1, and I would always point at.
Right.
Oh God, I can second that because I remember when it was all said and done, Leslie was like, "Oh, phew. Oh my God." Aaron was like, "No, stop. You gotta take it. Drink some water. You gotta do it again. No, have some tea." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like Aaron." So listen, I know what it took because don't think Leslie didn't tell me. She did tell me, but you know what? Leslie and I both know your heart. We both know the way you work. We both know that you're an extremely detail oriented individual and that you're very it has to be just right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was good for me and to have Aaron there because he's a producer anyway. And nobody else would have, I mean, no matter who was producing it, would have known me well enough to know how my voice is supposed to sound. And let me tell you, people, I'm a talker, and there's a lot of people that are in this room that are talkers, but speaking for 5 hours, right? A lot of things happened with your throat, with the phlegm, with your body, and everything has to sound exactly the same. So it's intense work. And when I left, I thought, whatever people are paid to do this, it's not enough. Right. And would I ever do it again? Well, as things go, I actually am going to do another book on Tuesday. I don't want to share it quite yet because it hasn't happened. I don't know that that's appropriate, but I am going to read another book for, I can say, for guiding brilliant writers, one of the authors. That's the plan. It hasn't happened. And yes, it's live, Cythery. We are live. We're live.
We're alive. We
We're
are
alive.
finally live. And yes, so thank you for sharing that little tidbit. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh
Look at
my
this
God.
guy over here. But you're gonna have to do it a third time because when eRADA 2 comes out,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You're
we
going to
will.
have to read it.
Yeah.
Hello, Carolyn. I was wondering who it was.
Cythery. We
Hello,
didn't know who Cythery
Carolyn.
was.
Oh, and you know what? I believe that Denlin is here too. Um,
Well, thank you all for being
I
here.
believe, yeah. Well, I see fabulousness that I truly believe is Denlin, even though it says LinkedIn user. So we have somebody backstage, and before we bring her up, I do want to encourage you guys, if you haven't already purchased a copy of eRADA, to please scan the QR code right behind me and go get your copy. It doesn't have to be the audiobook, it could be whichever format that you like. And for right now, we are, before the end of the show, going to draw a little raffle. This would be my awesome HR4U mug that puts me in the mindset of let's go. Um, and in here, I have names of people who have sent me in DMs that they purchased. So if you want to get your name on one of these cute little sticky notes here, and in there, we're going to do a drawing before the end of the show. And this is for a $25 cash prize, not gift card, cash prize. Why? Yeah, I never know what somebody could do with the cash, right? Maybe you just want to drink a lot of coffee like me. I don't know. But anyway, jump in there, scan the QR code, purchase the book, send me a DM on LinkedIn. I just got it. I am looking at my messages on LinkedIn as well. If I just get distracted, I have an executive remote producer here to help me. So before we bring up Joni, who is backstage, we are going to share one more little something a very lovely lady named Jasmine had to say about Leslie's book.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jasmine Ofori, founder of Jew Digital, and I want to bring your attention to this lovely book by Leslie Flowers. It's called The Possibility of eRADA, and the storyline is to die for. She's such a great storyteller. I mean, as I was reading the book, my imagination went to places that it hasn't been for a while. So, yeah, Possibility of eRADA is an amazing book. I love the story behind it. Van and Lee's love adventure. I think it's beautiful. Yes, and so I want to bring it to your attention. If you haven't grabbed a copy of this book, please grab it now and let me know what you think of it. It's an amazing book, And kudos to you, Leslie Flowers, for, creating such a beautiful book. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, wasn't that awesome?
It
So-
really was. And I want to share something with everyone about this audiobook, if it's all right with you.
Of course, this is your party.
Okay. So it
I
all
say
looks.
no.
So, you say no. Okay. Aaron says no. So,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it sounds, it looks easy. It looks like everything happened perfectly. But I'm here to tell you that there were times this last few months working to get the audiobook published or prepared for publishing, ran into a lot of obstacles. And so, but what I would say to you when you face obstacles and you're doing something that you really love, do not give up. I thought maybe the book would be the hardest part. But the fact is that the audiobook was like having a baby that didn't want to come. Okay. Right. I mean, and I know Aaron can relate to this because he wore the TENS pads. Let me just tell you, the labor pains were excruciating. And there were moments when I thought, what am I doing? But I will tell you that having all three versions, print, digital, and audio, it's probably the best thing I've ever done. Of all the things I've done and all the books I've written, this is the first fiction. And this really is the culmination of 25 years of deep study into transformation, personal development, achievement. So when the book began, the outline was 25 years ago through pure visualization. But I didn't have a story. I could tell you how eRADA was formed, what it was like on the planet, how they inhabit it. I had all that worked out visually, but I was in no position to write the book based on virtues and values because sometimes our ideas are much bigger than we might have imagined. And the universe will hold back until I did enough study to actually write the book and to enjoy it. There was no real stress or anything like that. So I just wanted to say to everybody, look, if you love it and you want to do it, there are reasons sometimes that there are obstacles. This is a great reason not to plot everything out because things do happen and you want to be able to roll with it and move right away to the solution. So thanks for letting me share that.
Yes, of course. And I was just saying, and you're right. Sometimes it just isn't time. And even though you had put the book out and could have had the audio done right the minute after, the audiobook came when it needed to come. And that often is the case uh, when it's time. And it was time.
It was more than 9 months gestation. It was probably the gestation of an elephant, right? I mean, the pain.
All right. You know what? With that, we're going to bring Joni up here. Joni, come
Okay.
into this conversation, hon. Come share with us. We want to know all about what you think.
I basically just wanted to congratulate my friend Leslie for overcoming some fears and obstacles because that is what life's about. Like it's really fantastic. It doesn't matter how old you are. Like just like get it going. And not saying you're old, Leslie. Geez, we're like the same age. Jeez, please. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh, please.
Okay, so I'm
Anyway,
17. What can I tell
but like
you?
it's serious. Like you can change like your life's destiny at any time, and I'm just really proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
so, and yes, I did buy it. I bought it on Audible, and so I'm looking forward to you listening to your voice while I go to bed at night, because that's a fantastic voice to listen to. And yeah, it's just it's a
Thank you.
wonderful concept to kind of dive into your passions without abandon. I don't know what the word is, but okay. Anyways, that's all I want to say. I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much, Joni. I really appreciate you. I'm so glad that you have the audiobook. Please let me know how you like it when you finish it.
I will. Yeah, probably tonight. Okay.
Oh boy.
Thank you for coming to share.
Anyways, but just anyone out there, like, goodness, like, just try it. Try to do this stuff if you're feeling like, stuck.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so much, Joni, for coming to share. And I'm glad that you got the book as well. Like Leslie says, I loved it. Make sure to go leave her a review. I know
I'll let
you.
you guys know my review. I'll post it on Amazon, not like a bot, but I will
Thank you.
post it as a real person.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love, love.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You do.
All right.
So now we have there we go. I was going to say we have a green wall. There.
Doing that green wall, right?
I love it. I love it. Well,
All
now
right.
one thing that's so interesting about Audible, I'm going to tell you, so if you go and buy the audiobook, they charge based on how long it is. So Amazon determines, unlike the printed book and the Kindle book, right, or the digital book, they decide. Now, if you go buy it, just buy it outright, right, and download it, it's $6 or $7. But if you buy it on Audible, the credits are $15. So this is where Amazon makes a lot of money, right? They really do. So, and the other thing I wanted to tell you, with all the difficulty and the obstacles, it took me a couple of weeks. The book was published the 3rd of March, but I didn't listen to it for a couple of weeks because I was still getting over the birth, if you will. You have to heal, so to speak. So I bought my own book with an Audible credit, and I had to go to Raleigh, and it was 45 minutes each way. And I said, okay, I'm ready to listen to this now. And I was literally blown away because I was in the right place to listen to it. And that's why I tell you, I am so thrilled. If this was the only thing that I did in my career was these 3 versions, I'd be satisfied.
Wow.
I really would. So thanks for letting me
That's
share.
huge. And I like that you sharing with the audience a bit about what it takes to do an audiobook and how that whole process looks, because many times when people self-publish or they go with a publisher, it tends to be the more traditional ebook. Some don't do paperbacks anymore because digital is so big right now. And having that additional format just adds another layer of depth, I believe, especially when it's read by the author herself. So,
and we're going to do a book study starting April 14th under the auspices and being hosted by the 2350 Network, Dr. Tanya Farron and Damian Kinsey. Now, this is a separate platform, but I want you to know that the first book study will be 4 weeks, 6 p.m. starting next Monday for 4 consecutive Mondays. If you've been thinking about being part of that network, they're hosting the first book study. So we'd love to have you.
absolutely. And I am part of the network as well.
Yes, thank you.
So I just wanted to say hi to Linda. I believe I saw Linda pop in as well in the conversation and trying to keep an eye on the comments here. So, Linda, welcome. So, I think that this is an extremely fitting time. I believe it's Jen Lynn that said, my imagination went to places that it hasn't gone in a long time. What a review. And that's what Jasmine said. So, with that, we're going to take you now for a deep dive into eRADA.
What kind of love can transcend time in a breath and feel as fresh as the sun's morning dew? A love that lives forever in between the spaces of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, all at once and forever. Safe among the folds of warm inspiration and obsessive lightness, swim through eons of time, one with wings, the other with vision, of a place in space where life is honored and entwined together. Souls connect forever when achieving eRADA, soft space for Lee and Van, star-crossed lovers, a love built on love of life over time and forever. Souls connect forever when achieving eRADA, the soft space for Lee and Van, star-crossed lovers, a love built on love of life over time and forever.
No matter how many times I see that book trailer and listen to the words, Leslie, that you wrote, and the music that Aaron matched with it, and his imagery, it is the book trailer of all times. So needless to say, Aaron Gibson, Darius, is going to be in very high demand, I am sure.
Yeah.
Just saying. And he might just consider working with a publishing company as a partner, maybe. We
Yeah.
get lost.
I'm already an employee.
Listen.
I've been your longest standing employee, yo.
Listen, wasn't that beautiful? I
Oh,
mean,
Nick, let me tell you, I want to share with you. This is a piece of the 7.5 minute trailer. And for those of you who already read the book, and I know I haven't run that 7.5 minute trailer, which I will do. Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, I love the music too, very much. Um, uh, did I just lose my train of thought? Oh yeah. So the book had, in the 7.5 minute trailer, there are 25 touch points or elements that match up with the book. So once you've read the book, when you watch the 7.5 minute trailer, it's kind of like a mini movie, right? And it, you could actually look and figure out, oh, this is that. Okay, this is what happened there, right? Hi, Andrea. So, it was really Aaron that brought this dream. People show up based on who you're being. We're cause in the matter of our life, and what we want is, in people and opportunities, is moving toward us at the same velocity, if you will, that we're moving toward it. And so this was meant to happen and took many years, but it was Aaron who showed up and invited me on Soul Man. And he did a bit about San Francisco. And that's where eRADA begins, in San Francisco, book 1. And my dream was, I said, oh, can you do for me what you do for Nick with the AI and put her face in all these crazy characters, right? And so what he did was he took this, oh, I don't have it here right in front of me. And when I was 17, he took a picture of me. And so all the images in the trailer are me. So I got to go back. And that's making a dream come true through visualization. There's your 5th dimension. There's the reason to never plot out everything from beginning to end for something you want very much. Because if I had stuck to what I thought I ought to do, I would have been struggling with those obstacles that were set from an earlier awareness, and Aaron would have walked right by. I wouldn't even have known. So he's the one who actually made the dream come true. So thank you, Aaron.
aw. I feel that things often have to line up the way they do. You and I met not terribly long ago.
Yeah.
Then we become fast friends. And I remember when eRADA was coming, and I remember you mentioning having a guy and a girl featured in it. And there was a little talk of possibly putting me there. And I said,
Yeah.
no. I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
I said, why wouldn't you put you?
Well,
Like, but what do you mean? And look at what happened. Because that was you. That was you back then, all those years ago, when this story was coming to fruition in your mind. There could not have been any other image there to carry this story through the way that it has. And I am so, blessed to have you both in my family. And I get to share this. I get to share that now you've seen it all. You've seen uh, a 3-week promo stint with Guiding Brilliant Writers. You've heard Leslie read her audiobook, and Guiding Brilliant Writers is offering the audiobook format as well under our publishing umbrella. And Leslie will be the one to help and take point on organizing that. You certainly have her voice, more mature voice. Perhaps you have a male voice, that gentleman down there, and perhaps mine. So you can have an entire team of audiobook readers right under the umbrella of the turnkey job with Guiding Brilliant Writers. Ebook, paperback, audiobook, and oh yeah, we have a heck of a book trailer producer. Now you tell me, why would you publish anywhere else? Just saying.
would you like me to read a snippet from the second book like 30 seconds or a minute of the second book?
I think that the audience would love that because I know that everybody now is anticipation of the next book.
Oh, I would love to do that. Okay, so this is a little bit about Lee's mother. So for those who have read this, you know that Lee and her mother lives across the Golden Gate Bridge in Sausalito in an old home, a big Victorian home that was once owned by Sally Stanford, a known madam in San Francisco, and she would bring her special guests across the bridge to this beautiful home that Lee lives in, and her mother lives in a little cottage. So this is a little bit about Lee's mother, because in eRADA, the second book, there's a lot more going on, right? That was the foundation. So I'll just read just a little bit for you so you can get an idea. We're going to go into a lot of character development. Lee's mother's name is Astrid. We've dubbed her Astrid. Astrid grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. An only child, her parents had moved from the East Coast to San Francisco before she was born. They brought beautiful North Carolina dogwood trees to plant in their new home, along with the meager belongings. They also had a small wooden crate given to them by Astrid's grandmother for safekeeping. That's important. Her father was inspired to go into business with a family friend who had moved to the city years before and started a merchandising business. Their friend secured them a cottage across the Golden Gate Bridge on the edge of the property with a 3-story Victorian home owned by Sally Stanford. When Astrid was born, it was early summer, and her mother's favorite flowers, gardenias, were in full bloom all around the edges of the cottage. The dogwood trees began heavy budding of their delicate white flowers. As a child, her mother taught Astrid to squint her eyes and look at the dogwoods from a distance. Her mother told her that it was God's way of snowing. Indeed, the blooms looked like a falling light snow. How's that?
Hashtag drop the mic, yo.
Oh my goodness, that would be so a guy's response, and from a girl's response, very dreamy. Summer is coming, and it makes me think of the cherry blossoms and walking under them and everything. Just
The dogwoods are blooming in North Carolina.
Oh my goodness.
They're blooming right now in North Carolina. And that is true. That is something that I did as we would drive down the road, and there's woods on either side of the 2-lane country roads. And raising my children over 25, 30 years, every spring when the dogwoods began to bloom, if you squinted your eyes and looked deep into the woods, it did look like snow in the spring. And that's where that came from.
Well, that was stellar. And as Jasmine said, my mind went off somewhere else. I cannot wait for eRADA 2.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for all that is coming for the 3 of us. We have quite a journey ahead of us and so many stars together that we'll be hitting. So before we draw the raffle and we close out the show tonight, I do want to share just one more little tidbit of something that someone had to say about your story.
I recently enjoyed the audiobook eRADA by Leslie Flowers during my business trip to Phoenix. It was an absolutely delightful experience. Listening to this story while waiting at the airport turned an otherwise dull moment into a captivating adventure. Leslie's narration created a beautiful, magical world with every word. Right now, I am here finishing the audiobook while waiting for my son's soccer game to wrap up. I am still mesmerized by the story. The plot is filled with wonder and excitement. It is no surprise if this enchanting tale will easily become a Disney movie. If you are looking for a fantastic way to pass the time, I highly recommend this audiobook. It is a perfect escape that will leave you wanting for more. Awesome job, Leslie.
Awesome job, Leslie. Now you have to tell me, what do you feel when you see these these people come up, these friends, and share with you just how much your story has touched them?
You know, acknowledgement is something that I'm all about, and it still surprises me, and it honors me and surprises me. And honestly, I did not ever think that I was a really good writer. I've always written, right? But it wasn't until I listened to it in the audio that I realized the value, and it really touches my heart. I mean, thank you for you too, Nick, for taking this on as busy as you are with your new company. This is all about fun. This part of it, because I've got the number one. So that isn't it. It's more like, let's get excited. There's going to be a book study. And my intention, my goal for Q2 is to complete the draft of book 2. So then we'll figure out how to wiggle it in, right? Do another trailer. And it's a much more complex story, the second one. Right. It's taken a lot longer, and it deserves it. I think you'll love it. And thank you, Nick, for doing this, taking me on, and Aaron for being partners as we move forward and always listening for my greatness. Even when I screw up, you only see the good in me. And that's how I feel about you too. So thank you.
You're adorbs. We all screw up. And listen,
Yeah.
that's family. When one goes, we all go, right?
Yeah.
And the pie is always big enough to share. So with that, we are going to draw this raffle. I do have names in here of people that have reached out to me over the last week or so to let me know that they had purchased the book. And I want to make sure that Getting Brilliant Writers gets you that $25 cash gift. And thank you so much for all of your support. And oh, it's a little bit dark in here on my lights. Jason Forehand. Oops, Jason, this one's for you. All right, so I'm going to reach out to you after this. You let me know where you would like me to send the $25. Thank you so much, Jason. And you did a beautiful job as well. You and Dom with Leslie. You know, this is the beauty of the circles that keep overlapping. I am so proud to be a part of all of this. Like Leslie says, it happens when it's meant to happen.
Yeah.
Just as she didn't think that this would come to fruition for her way back then, I never thought that I would sit here and say, I own a company. I own a company. I still try to tell myself, I own a company. And it's okay for me to be happy about it.
Yes.
So,
yes. And listen, the thing is, the reason that you're so busy right now, and everybody, I want you to realize this about Nick, right? This is the low-hanging fruit. She has been building and moving toward this. So it's no accident, nor is it luck that she has clients that are going to keep her busy all year. Because as I said, what you want is moving toward you at the same velocity you're moving toward it. So while she was working full time, she was publishing books and 3 at once and crazy stuff like that, which I would never do. So you really have a momentum going already. And that's why once you started this business on your own, you had the time and the space to take on these clients where you couldn't while you were working full time. So
This is true.
it was already in motion. It wasn't like you started with nothing.
Yeah.
You already had people and opportunities on their way, and they kept knocking on your door,
Yes.
including me.
I thank everyone for that. And Leslie is going to be on Polished this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern with Jen Lynn.
Yep.
Also, her episode on Time to Change with Jason Voorhan and Dom drops this Friday, Funky Friday. There's a lot coming down the pike for Leslie.
Yes.
And Guiding Brilliant Writers has 6 more books coming out this year, all signed into contract for publishing. There is room for promotion, however, always here to do that as well. But I've got to stick that in there. And
she's a Gemini, so there really is a twin. There
listen,
really is a twin.
I love doing what I do. It's as simple as that. And Leslie should be on in another couple of weeks as well on the new series, The Person Behind the Pen, because she has written in both People First Professional Networking Platform and A Message to My Family.
Yes.
So has Mr. Gibson. In fact, Mr. Gibson has written in 3. So he also has to sign in. And we will be hearing more from both Leslie and Aaron. Tomorrow we're on 6 p.m. with The Person Behind the Pen again. And this time with Jeff Van Dyke. I can't wait for you guys to meet him. He is an amazing young man that is just taking disability and life from his chair by fire. So with that, we are going to end the evening. Leslie, I love you. Aaron, I love you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye.